Okay, so in that last video, I caught a fly while I was talking to you guys and let it go. Most people, I don't think, are going to believe this, but I do that quite a bit. People are like, how is it that you are dangerous at all?" It's that. For whatever reason, like, I don't know if I just see better or think faster or whatever, but like I can just do shit like that. I have really, really fast hands. Like, that's how I'm still alive at this point. And I don't know exactly how you develop that, but here's how I developed that skill. I didn't have many friends growing up, and I played with my cat. And my cat liked to chase flies, and I'd chase flies with him. And, I can catch one and kill it, usually. I can't do that right now. Or you can catch one and, you know, let it live and then throw it in front of the cat. Like, this is just a thing I've always done. Like, I'm not saying I'm a badass or anything, but you can develop this skill for sure, and it does make you somewhat badass. It's one of those pinpoint precision and accuracy things, but it's not with a rifle, it's with your bare hands. And like, this is some crazy, like, ninja karate bullshit, right? Well, it's correct. Like, everything that you need to win a fight is in catching that fly in some ways. It's like some Mr. Miyagi bullshit. But what you need to be able to do to catch the fly is predict where it is going to be. You're not grabbing where that fly is. You are knowing the fly's nature in such a way as to be able to predict its path, intercept its path, and snag said fly. That's a hard thing to do. Okay. And building the mental discipline to do that makes you a better fighter. And that's the Mr. Miyagi thing. And that was never my goal in catching flies. My goal in catching flies was to have fun with my cat. Okay. And like, I was just always kind of able to do this. I think it's because I'm fucked up in the head. I did this once. My grandmother and I were talking and we were having a discussion, and I was in a heated moment. And she was like, "There's a fly, there's a fly." And I just kind of like, I stopped the conversation, had both hands up in the air at my sides, and was scanning and looking, and then just snatched the fly out of the air, killed it, and threw it on the ground, and then finished the conversation. And she was impressed, let's say the least. I won that argument. I I'll have to interview her about doing that before she's too old, because like, it was some impressive shit. I am impressed with myself for doing that in front of someone. It's one of those things that, like, it's one thing to do this while nobody's looking. It's a whole nother thing to do it while everybody's watching. And I think that's the thing with a lot of shit, is there's a lot of shit that you can do when nobody's looking for whatever reason. It's like your mind gets out of the way kind of thing. I think there's a whole lot of things in life that the restrictions on you are placed on you by yourself and what other people think of you. So as long as you think this, being in front of other people is going to interfere with your ability to perform. And like, the thing that I've found in life is that getting really, really angry eliminates that entirely. So like, that's half the reason I like ranting. Ranting's fun. I like Lewis Black and like Ron White and shit like that. And I don't know how we got to comedy from catching flies, but it's all related. Like, You don't catch flies by trying to catch flies. Like, if I was going to tell you to do something, it would be to build mental discipline and then try catch flies. Like, without the mental part, you're never going to catch them. But you're never going to catch them without trying either. So you have to kind of do both. And that's the thing with everything in life. Everything in life is you have to do both. There's always two things. That's the yin and the yang, the fucking male and the female, the whatever. There's always two. And without a balance of them, you're going to be hopelessly lost. And like that's some Eastern bullshit probably too. But like funny part is I've never even studied any of that shit. I know almost dick about Buddhism. I would really like to talk to some Buddhists. Like the things that I know about Buddhism are like tertiary things that I've heard that I was like, oh, I like that. And the rest is all kind of my own beliefs. And I think it's funny that I ended up with a ship's wheel as my symbol. And that's a Buddhist symbol. And like maybe I know more about Buddhism than I think because fucking John Milius was into Buddhism and I fucking watched Conan the Barbarian and read John too much. That's entirely possible. It's also entirely possible that like there's a reason the Chinese are hunting the Dalai Lama. And I'm not exactly sure what all that's about. There's some sort of greater war going on between some powers that I don't fully understand. And I don't know who's on whose side right now. But it seems like the Dalai Lama people, whoever they are one group. Whoever runs the Chinese is one group. And then either those people and the Americans and Europeans are the same people, or those are three separate groups. And I'm not really sure on that anymore. But it seems like there's a lot going on behind the scenes that I don't know. There's definitely more to all of this than meets the eye. I made a video on conspiracy theories, I believe. I agree with all of that. Like, there's some Nazi shit going on. That's just my opinion. I don't really have anything else to add about catching flies other than the ability to catch a fly like that. The mental shit that you learn with that of how to predict the movements of a fly aren't really applicable to gunfighting or anything, but learning to predict a thing's movements and to learn the nature of a thing to be able to catch it. This is the big lesson. This is like the big lesson. I'm a really good hunter. I barely ever hunted deer or anything like that. We could talk about the things I have hunted. It might include a hell of a lot of dick, to be honest, but I don't know. It all depends on what you're after to hunt. And that's what I would encourage you to become is be a good hunter. Like you should look into that too. And I don't mean like go be a good deer hunter or whatever, but like be a good hunter of things, be a good hunter of knowledge, be a good, hunter of men if that's what you're going to do. If you're going to be focused on combat, you need to be a good hunter of men. If you don't understand the way men think, act, and do things and why they do them, then you won't be able to accurately predict them in combat. And the funny thing about combat is men get real unpredictable real quick because of how scared they are. And that's something that a lot of people don't get. The good part is though, if you are facing, superior forces, those guys get real predictable real fast. The thing with superior forces are they're going to do some sort of tactic at you, which makes them predictable. You as a person on your own or a small group of people, you can be much less predictable. This is like the advantage of being the Viet Cong instead of the Americans. There is an advantage to being able to pop out of holes in the jungle wherever you want, you know. I don't know. I hope this was interesting to someone. It's my superpower. Actually, I have a couple of superpowers, but we'll talk about the others later. I swear I might be able to talk to my cat, and I'm not sure if that's a superpower or if that's just that I talk so much that that cat has figured out the English language. And I'm not bullshitting you. Like, I don't think I have some sort of mental ability to talk to animals or some shit like that. That's not at all what this is. I think I have spent an inordinate amount of time with this cat, and this cat like snuggles me while I do this. It's listened to every word I've ever fucking said. And when I say things like, hey, come on, we got to go or whatever, he knows. He knows what I mean. He speaks more English than a fucking 7-year-old child, I think. I think that's really what's going on with that cat. It's kind of cool. He plays fetch. What cat plays fetch? Church is a cool cat. We'll have to do more church videos eventually, but like, I don't know. It cracks me up that like I'll tell him things and he'll go and like do something. And like occasionally I have to be really, really high for this to work, but you know, maybe that's part of it too. Maybe being so high on weed while he's so high on weed, like there's like something to ESP and like our brains are touching and he understands English better than. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on with that, but like the cat definitely speaks more English than some children. That's a for sure thing. On top of whether or not our brains are touching or whatever. Oh, I love that cat. He is he's a hoot. He was in here earlier and he was looking at like a pile of camping equipment all suspect and like his back feet get flat to the floor because you know cats kind of stand on their back toes. But when he gets scared, he puts his feet all the way on the floor, like, I don't know what's going on. I better base myself. I might need to pop up and like look terrifying or fight or some shit. I love cats. I'll see you guys later.